So one of the most common mistakes made by student animators is not to have their characters blink, or rather not to have their characters blink enough. And one of the challenges of animating characters, especially characters who are interacting with one another, is to make sure that they are looking at each other and they blink. And animating a blink is really a way of keeping the character alive. Now, in live action, if you've got two characters talking to each other, you'll actually notice that actors tend not to blink. Because in live action, if a character blinks, if you blink a lot, if you're looking at the camera and you're blinking a lot, as I sometimes do in these videos, it actually weakens you. It makes you weaker, and people who don't blink are stronger. However, this is not the case in animation. Because in animation we have to animate, we have to simulate life, we have to make it believable that these plasticine or digital puppets that we're animating are actually alive and are thinking and feeling, then essentially my rule is you can never have too many blinks. And this is especially true if you've got a character turning their head and looking from one direction to another. So let's say if I look over here at this side of the room, and I'm going to look over there to the other side of the room, watch what I do when I move my head. Now, I'm not conscious of this. I'm automatically blinking. I'm blinking whether I want to or not. In actual fact, it's quite hard to do it without blinking. If I don't blink, if I move my head from one side of the room to another and I don't blink, look what happens. Right, now I look like a zombie, okay? So that's what your animation is going to look like if you don't have a blink on the head turn. So the rule is, the general rule of thumb, like all rules, it can be broken, but you want to apply the rules and then learn when to break them. The rule is, if you've got a head turn, have the character blinking. And when I say blink, not just the lids. What you want to do is make sure that the brows and the lids both come down. So the lids come down approximately 8 frames. That would be a sort of average blink. Actually, that would be kind of a slow blink, but 6 to 8 frames, not less than 6 frames, or else you won't see it. And you go faster in the blink than you come out. So standard timing for a blink might be, frame 1, start the blink. This would be a quick blink. Frame 3, the blink, the eyelids are closed, and then frame 7, you're easing out of the, you're open, but you're easing out of the blink. So slightly slower on the open. But you always want to animate the blink on the head turn. Now, why do we animate? Why do we blink on a head turn? Why is that? And it's because our brains when you look around a room, you've got all this information, all this data coming into your brain, and we don't need all that data. We just need the thing we're looking at, and then the other thing we're looking at, and everything else in between just gets edited out. So what your eyes do, what your eyelids do, is they act like a shutter, like a camera. And they close, so we don't see any of this extraneous information, and then we open them up when we're looking at the thing we want to see, and then the information comes in. And this, by the way, is why cutting in film works, because when you cut from one thing to another, it mimics the blink of an eye. That's one of the best books on film editing is called In the Blink of an Eye. Great book, you should check it out. It's fantastic on the theory of cutting editing. So you always want to add a blink on a head turn. And in general, you really, for animation, add blinks a lot. Blinks keep characters alive. Blinks make us believe that there's stuff going on inside the character's head. And as I said, always make sure that the brows dip a little as well. Because if you just animate the eyelids, then the face tends to feel a little frozen. It tends to feel a little mechanical. So you can just bring the eyelids down on the blink as well. And even sometimes if you've got cheek controls, you can just bring the cheeks up a little bit as well. Again, it just helps to make the character feel alive and make it feel like they really are thinking and feeling.